says here, you know what? You should start from 39, man.
On what?
Start from 39.
Wait, on what?
You know what? Well, unless you just want to get to the point. But you know, Nathaniel been around for. I'm not gonna say he's been around for a while, but he's old enough. You already know the name. He should know all the scriptures. It shows his disbelief too. He's not believing he's doing it for profit.
That's
for his glory.
That's because the talents are taken away from you. Anyways, yo, shalom. Alright, I'm not your one, yeah,
𝙍𝙚𝙖𝙨𝙤𝙬𝙖𝙗𝙡𝙚.
Alright, I want to give the honest about the elders, the great millstone, shalom. Sincere brothers out there teaching truth and sincerity. Alright, we're the Hebrew Israelites back out here once again to prophesy the downfall of Esau's kingdom and to bring remembrance of the children of Israel, which consists of so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, to bring us back to our power, which is Yahweh. Alright, through our Lord 𝙍𝙚𝙖𝙨. So it's Yahweh 𝙍𝙚𝙖𝙨. Yahweh means he is. Alright. 𝙍𝙚 means in the name. Yahweh means he saves or he delivers. In the Paleo Hebrew tongue, which is the only tongue you can call upon those names with. And the only tongue that let's just say that you can, the only tongue that you can say those names in prayer is like yours. Alright, so we all know, you know, not we all, more like, you know, amongst the brothers, we all know about the Nathaniel thing, what he said and stuff. You know, that type of mentality, he can disperse the sheep, you know, very quickly. You know, how he says that how you clothe yourself is what how do you say it?
It says the way you dress shows the God you serve.
Yeah, you know, and the first thought that was in my head, and before we actually start, Lord willing, that's his kid says, just edifying unto brothers and exhorting unto brothers. You know, it's mostly going to be a various topic lesson, camp session. But you know, we're gonna start off with this. But yeah, the first thought that came into my head when I heard that was that Yahweh, that was not the mindset that Yahweh came in. And when we come out here, we're supposed to have the mindset that Yahweh had. All right, we have to, just like this, as the scriptures say, we have to arm ourselves likewise with the same mind of Yahweh. All right, and that was the thing that was popping in my head. All right, and just as they call us bum Israelites because of what we wear. What we wear, it really does describe what kind of power we serve. You know? Why? Because what Yahweh loves is the meek and lowly men. And if we're wearing sackcloth, we're not wearing any kind of fancy ass garments. Right? You don't have phylacteries on and stuff like that. We're wearing sackcloth. Right? So I actually want to get that. Let me just read that in 2 Peter real quick. I mean 1 Peter. Yeah, so I'm gonna read this. First, 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 1. It says, For as much then as a Mashiach, or how this word calls Christ, has suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind. For he that has suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin, that he shall no longer live to the rest of his time in the lust of men, but to the will of Yahweh. And that's a main thing in the midst of our ministry. All right, and the lust of men is the looking on the outward appearance of men. All right, but Yahweh but Yahweh looks on the inward appearance, the inwards of a man. And we're supposed to arm ourselves likewise with that same mind, because Yahushua had that same mindset. We have to arm ourselves likewise with that same mind, being spiritual. It doesn't matter how you look like on the outside. Just as Yahushua says, you know, a lot of brothers mentioned it when basically responding to that, rebuking him. But that white sepulchre, you gotta make sure you clean the inside before you clean the outside. Because it doesn't matter how clean you make it look like on the outside, if it's not clean in the inside, it's still dirty. Alright? Yeah, let's get that also in yeah, you'll get that. Oh, and let's get can you get 1 Corinthians chapter 1 verse 27. Don't read this yet. Just hold that real quick. I might get the other thing in the pocket. Yeah, you can read that. And,
Matthew 23 and 25. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for you make clean the outside of the cup and of the platter, but within they are full of extortion and excess. Thou blind Pharisees, cleanse first that which is within the cup and platter, that the outside of them may be clean also.
You always start in the inside of the cup before you start the outside of the cup. Even especially when you're doing dishes. Alright? That's like common sense. At least to me, at least. You know? That was like an instinct when I'm like cleaning a cup or something. I don't clean the outside first. I clean the inside and then I clean the outside. You know?
It's the same way like you check yourself before you start judging, pretty much.
Yeah, because the liquid was in the inside of the cup, not on the outside. Alright, so the outside is least important, but the inside is important. Alright, and what that basically means is that you gotta make sure that your mind is right. You gotta make sure that you're right in the eyes of 𝙎𝙚𝙧𝙫𝙖, so that you may be seen clean. Alright, and that's by reforming your mind. And if you're still thinking about making your outward appearance, that your outward appearance is what's important, then the inside of your cup is not clean.
corruption.
It's full of corruption. Excess, was it excess and extortion?
Extortion and full of extortion and excess.
You want to get extortion? What extortion? Because you got to remember, the true worshipers of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua are going to worship in the spirit and the truth. Thus, that means if Yahushua is going to send out teachers according to his own heart, they're going to be thinking the same way Yahushua's thinking. You know? And that's going to be spirit and in truth. You know? Extorting money.
Yeah.
There was a controversy happening with them at one point. One of them calling another brother in their congregation a pocket.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. The pocket. Yeah. You know, and that's pretty much the same thing. You know? And there's also another precept of Yahushua talking about they make broad the borders of their garment in their phylacteries, so they can be seen as if they're higher and more righteous. That's incorrect. That is incorrect. Right? Those men they go around boasting self-righteousness, but that's not what Yahweh Hashem Yahushua is trying to look for. You know, Yahushua brought in that new way. And what you're supposed to be doing is trying your best. Trying your best. You know? Not through self-righteousness. But you know, because no matter how hard you try to be perfect, you're never gonna be perfect. Just like what it says in Ecclesiastes, the 17th chapter, if I remember correctly. It says no man can make a fleshy heart for stony. So no matter how hard you try, you're never gonna get it unless it was preordained on you, like Yahushua. Yahushua had that strong spirit. He endured through all the flesh. He condemned the sinful flesh. And yet, though Yahushua was way more righteous than every man on the face of the earth, you know, he still was coming in the weak and lowly spirit, washing the apostles and elders' feet to show that. To show what kind of mindset he was coming in. You know?
Extortion in the dictionary. The practice of obtaining something, especially money, through force or threats.
And that's basically a threat to the new coming of sheep. So when a newcomer sees that post that you posted, saying that the way you dress it shows what kind of God you serve, and you're wearing this fancy garment, now that sheep who's most likely in a poorer state than you are, because you got the 501c3, now they're gonna have to spend a lot of their money to buy an expensive garment, so they can walk around the way you walk around. That's extortion, man. Because it wasn't a direct threat, it was an indirect threat using the Most High's fear. Using the fear of the Most High to motivate that man to buy a garment to represent what kind of power they serve. So you men that have that kind of mindset, you better repent, man. Because you're growing more and more blood upon your hands. More and more. You know? It's unbelievable, man. It's unbelievable that you men are still going at it. Are you guys keeping eyes on the times, on the signs of the times? Can you not tell that a storm is brewing? And that Yahushua is returning? This is not the time to be having that desire of money. Because a lot of you men, if if you're like there's no problem with overall with having an expensive garment, but you shouldn't be putting your mind on it. All right, and you shouldn't be posting things like that, because what kind of power did 𝙎𝙚𝙧𝙫𝙬 serve? He was not wearing the same broad borders of the garment. Garments with broad borders and large phylacteries and golden garment? You know? 𝙎𝙚𝙧 came on an ass, man. What does that mean to you? He was washing the apostles and elders' feet. What does that mean to you? You know? Let me also get that thing in Hebrews. I'm just going to get it. You know, for edification's sake. Let me see if I can find it. No, I found it. Yo, that's the spirit. This is Hebrews chapter 2. Damn. Let me Let me see where to start at. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna start at 1. So this is Hebrews chapter 2, verse 1. Therefore, we ought to give more earnest heed to the things we have heard, lest at any time we should let them slip. And it seems like that's slipping from your mind. How 𝙎𝙚𝙧 washed the apostles' feet, his disciples, right? And how 𝙎𝙚𝙧, he came on an ass. All right. So continuing, it says, for if the word spoken by the angels was steadfast, and every transgression and disobedience received a just recompense, how shall we escape if we neglect the great salvation which began to be spoken by the Lord and was confirmed unto us by them that heard him? So if an angel came down and told you that you shouldn't be wearing those garments that you're wearing, you shouldn't be putting your mind to him, and that does not represent the power that you serve. You know, if the angel told you that, you take action right away. But yeah, if 𝙎𝙚𝙧 was in this day and age, right now, and he told you shouldn't be doing that, you will call him a bum Israelite, a bum Israelites, how they call them. Call us. You call him a bum, because the way that 𝙎𝙚𝙧 will come in, he'll come the same way our apostles and elders were coming, wearing sackcloth, coming in with a meek and lowly mind, but still speaking with authority, rebuking and exhorting, and bringing in edification. That's what 𝙎𝙚𝙧 will come in. And you men, you will be just like the evil Pharisees and Sadducees, making broad the border of your garments and making huge phylacteries, going around boasting themselves in self-righteousness.
So it's basically a two-world mentality still, you know, being in that kind of mindset. You know, it's no different than a two-third wearing an expensive $500 sneaker or $400 shade.
They do that.
A good starter clothing or whatever.
Yeah, they do that. They do that to impress the women. It's the same mindset. That's the same mindset they got. It's the same they have as a 2/3 Jake. A 2/3 Jake will try to buy the most expensive things and everything like that, so the women can see that, and they go like, "Wow, he's good off. He must be a rich dude. I'm gonna go lay with him." You know. But since the 2/3 Jake have a lust towards sexual lust, you men If you're going like that, putting your mind to the garment and everything like that, you have a lust. You have a lust for money. You have a lust also for members.
It's profit.
It's profit. The more members you get, the more money you get. The same kind of mindset the wacky tacky Christians got. Making merchandise. You read was it 2 Peter chapter 2? You know, they bring swift destruction on themselves, denying the Lord that brought them up. You know, making a merchandise of them, because the way of truth is evil spoken of. They call us bum Israelites. You know, we're glad to be bum Israelites. They call us faith-based Israelites. How is that an insult? That is the greatest compliment ever. Thank you. And that shows that you men don't got understanding. And if any man got that kind of mindset, you gotta change it. You gotta arm yourselves like us with the same mind as 𝙎𝙚𝙧𝙫𝙀. Alright? He came in a lowly mindset. You know, and later I'm gonna get that precept where it says, the greater thou art, the more humble thou should be. And thou shalt find favor in the eyes of Yahweh. What do you think 𝙎𝙚𝙧𝙫 was doing? You know, I'm continuing with this. It says, okay, so I'm going to repeat on 3. It says, how shall we escape if we neglect the great salvation? All right, which at the first began to be spoken by the Lord and was confirmed unto us by them that heard him. Now, how did they confirm it? Not just because of the miracles and everything like that, but straight up demonstration. The way they speak, the way they look, the way they walk. It was made known unto them by wisdom. Because wisdom is what gives you that light. It gives you that you know, it's like in daytime. Alright? What makes the daytime? You look around. What's making everything so bright? You look up, there's the sun. The sun is what's making the whole night, what's supposed to be a night sky, is making the sky blue. Because the sun. It's the same thing with wisdom. No matter how hard you try to look away, those men, they catch your eyes. Whether you're a 2/3 Jake or whether you're a 1/3. The 2/3, they have their role of playing a scoffer and scorner, but they know that's the truth. They just can't receive it. Since they can't receive it, they want to hate on it because they can't receive it for themselves. But the 1/3, they say they see them as straight up teachers. They hear them. They see edification and exhortation. But at the end of the day, it's the apostles, the elders, and the men on down in this truth teaching the true doctrine, in spirit and in truth. They are sparks among the stubble. There's no way you are not going to drift your attention away from that spark. If that spark is glowing and you want to look at it. You know? Like it or not, our spirits have a fascination towards light. It has a fascination towards light. If it's pitch black in a room and there's a single light, your eyes are going to focus on that light. You're going to focus nowhere else because it doesn't catch your attention. But you're going to focus on that light because it's the most peculiar thing out of the entire thing. And light is already coming to the world. By the way of our apostles and elders, which you have shunned. The same way you have shunned our Lord, 𝙎𝙚𝙧𝙫, in the days of old. Yeah, because men love darkness rather than light. They rather serve money. They rather serve themselves. You know? But continuing, it says, Yahweh also bearing them witness, both with signs and wonders. Alright? So through their demonstration, through the way they stand, through the way they speak, the way they look, 𝙎𝙚𝙧𝙫 made it confirmed even more. Through the signs and through the wonders. You can see as far as I know, fleets of chariots only show up towards brothers of this truth. That is a wonder, and that is a sign. You can see the chariots doing formation in the sky. You can see the chariots flocking like birds, going around, you know, passing each other like that. You know, you can see chariots, you know, going in a formation like military formation, going across the sky like you see jets. Esau tried to copy the chariots by the way of their jets. you know, in a formation like an arrow, or a formation going like woo, you know, or you got one jet going forward and you got 2 jets going behind, stuff like that.
More like birds formation.
Bird
Since
formation.
the military copy off the birds.
And the birds copy off the formation of the angels.
Right.
So continuing, it says, Yahweh also bearing them witness, both with signs and wonders and diverse miracles, and gifts of the Holy Spirit. And what's the gifts? The breakdowns. You know? The breakdowns. And just you wait. The ultimate breakdown is going to be this MOTB, man. It's going to be the CHIP. And when that happens, watch these men. Watch these false prophets. Watch these false teachers. They're going to try to turn their attention, and they're going to say, oh, we've been saying the CHIP the entire time. What are you talking about? While secretly removing the old videos that they had on the breakdowns of the MOTV, trying to pretend that they were the ones who made up it in the first place. They did the same thing with Jacob's trouble. They're going to do the same thing with this. You know? But all the breakdowns, all the names of Yahweh, Yahushua, you know, all the everything else that was broken down through faith by the Holy Spirit, by the 𝙎𝙚 from our apostles and elders on down, which they have learned, you know, they have learned from the apostles and elders, you know, because they had the 𝙎𝙚 on them. But they took that free gift that was given onto them, and they went off to try to make merchandise with it, making their own congregation, trying to break down things that was not taught onto them, and horribly breaking it down, because they err not knowing the scriptures. All right, so I'm gonna continue with this. It says, for unto the angels hath he not put in subjection the world to come, whereof we speak. It says, but one in a certain place testified, saying, what is man that thou art mindful of him, or the son of man that thou visitest him? Thou madest him a little lower than the angels. Thou crownedest him with glory and honor, and didst set him over the works of thy hands. Yahushua came meek, lowly. Though he had power to send multitudes of angels, you know, though he had power to command his servants to fight, and they will win with a tiny number, they would have took over the entire earth. But it was not his will. It was not the will of Yahweh. It was not the will of Yahushua. Alright? It was not the purpose to do that. Alright? Yahushua came meek and lowly to represent the testament, to represent how do I say it? To represent how do I say it? Damn. The road that he's paving. There you go. That's for the lack of better words. Alright? The road that he's paving, to represent it. Yahushua came a little lower than the angels. Yahushua didn't send multitudes of angels to destroy all the heathens at that moment. You know? Yahushua came on an ass, washing the feet of the apostles and his disciples. Alright? Yeah. You know, he wasn't, when Yahushua came, he wasn't boasting himself that he's an angel, that he can do all of this. Like, look, I can turn this water to wine. Look at this. Look. No, he wasn't doing that type of thing. He wasn't boasting. You know, Yahushua was trying to represent with all the miracles and everything that he done. What he was trying to show to his apostles and his elders and all the people is that all the powers that he's been doing came from on high, came from Yahweh, not of himself. And you can read that in John 17.
Yahushua always gave credit to the Father.
Yeah.
Always.
And what Yahushua said, they know that all the things I have done came from thee. Alright? And we men that learn from our apostles and elders, and our apostles and elders learn from their teachers, and their teachers got from the 𝙎𝙚𝙧𝙫𝙬, you know. We gotta arm ourselves like us with the same mindset of Yahushua. We gotta have the same mindset of Yahushua. Look at the way Yahushua did. Look what the men of, what the disciples of Yahushua did. Same mindset of Yahushua. Now all the way 2,000 years later, here we are. Again, the apostles and elders and the disciples of Yahushua are back again. And not just that, but the evil Sadducees and Pharisees and Sadducees are back again too. Boasting and self-righteousness. The same thing they did back then. You know? Insulting and scoffing and scorning the true teachers. You know, bringing swift destruction to themselves by the Lord who brought them. You know? It's stupid. You know? So continuing.
I got you.
It says, thou hast put all things in subjection under his feet. That's referring to Yahweh putting all things under subjection of Yahushua. You can read that in Ephesians the first chapter. Near was it the third to the last verse on down. It says, for in that he put all in subjection under him, and left nothing that is not put under him. But now we see not yet all the things put under him. Why? Because Yahushua, he's coming back again, and then he's going to put everything under his feet. He's going to take the crowns off the heathens' heads and everything, man. He's going to put everything into subjection, and everything's going to be ruled in righteousness under him, under Yahushua, man. All right. And this is the entire purpose, man. When Yahushua's coming back, then you're going to see him with his great glory, which he has foretold us, man, that he would receive, and that he will come and receive us also. Do you know the purpose of why you have why sackcloth needs to be worn by the men in the last, by the two witnesses? The two witnesses referring to the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom of Israel, that they shall be put back together. All right, they're gonna be wearing sackcloth. You know why they're gonna be wearing sackcloth? Because this is not our rest. We are in the house of mourning. The reason sackcloth was worn is because of mourning. When you're about to mourn, you put on sackcloth. It's a custom of the Israelites. You put on sackcloth and you cast ash upon your head, or if you don't got ash, you most likely will rend your sackcloth. You got brothers that wearing the same garments they've been wearing for years, and it's all tatters, it's all ripped up. You got a brother from Boston, for example, one of the elders, been wearing the same garment for years, and his garment's all ripped up. It's got a massive hole right here. It's got some shreds over here. You know, it's all shredded up, but he's still got his borders and fringes and everything on it. All right. So continuing. But we see Yahushua, who is made a little lower than the angels for the suffering of death, crowned with glory and honor. He, by the grace of Yahweh, should taste death for every man. You know? And Yahushua got his glory and honor. He got it. So that's why he can come back with his glory. But right now we're not in our glory right now. We are in this flesh, man. We're in the same way. We're in the same flesh that Yahushua was in. A sinful flesh. If we're in the sinful flesh, why are we glorifying in this flesh that can commit sin? It's not perfect. You know? It's not perfect. It's that was a scripture that a brother mentioned. If you can get that, rend not your garments, but rather your heart. And that was one of the precepts somebody was trying to justify that post, not understanding what it truly means there. You tried to say that you read that. It might. I got a precept. There you go. Joel 2 and 13. Let's go up a little bit. Yo, look at that. You could have just read a verse above, understanding what it means here. Yeah, you can start reading here. Yeah, 12.
Alright, this is Joel 2 and 12. Therefore, also now, say, 𝙎𝙚𝙧𝙼𝙬𝙧𝙖, turn ye even to me with all your heart, and with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning.
And that's referring, and if you're in that state, you're going to be wearing sackcloth.
Right. And rend your heart, and not your garment.
And what that means is to turn away, turn from away your wickedness. All right, and that's through your mind. That's what it means to rend your heart and not your garments. Your garments is referring to your flesh. All right, refer to your flesh, or you can also put it on the garment itself. But the garment there is talking to your flesh. Rend your heart, not your garments. Continue.
And turn unto 𝙎𝙚𝙧𝙼𝙬𝙧𝙖.
Just say Yahweh your power.
And turn unto Yahweh your power.
And then you can say Bahashem Yahweh.
I gotta hold that.
Okay.
Thanks. All right. Let me read it again. It's Joel 2 and 13. And rend your heart and not your garment. And turn unto Yahweh your power. Bahashem Yahweh, for he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and repented him of the evil.
Yeah. So if you're going around boasting yourself, because if you're going to be boasting yourself in your broad borders of your garments, in your phylacteries, in your fancy garments and stuff like that, you're basically going around saying that you're righteous. You know, that's the same thing.
This is Matthew chapter 11 verse 27. This is Matthew chapter 11 verse 27. All things are delivered unto me of my Father, and no man knoweth the Son but the Father. Neither knoweth any man the Father save the Son. It says, and he whomsoever the Son will reveal him. It says, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest.
Yeah, so if you don't understand Yahweh Shai, how can you get to Yahweh? What God do you serve then? You're trying to skip Yahweh Shai. If you're gonna be wearing garments, wear garments that represent Yahweh Shai. Represent that you serve Yahweh Shai. Because you can't get to Yahweh, you can't serve Yahweh without Yahweh Shai. So what mindset are you coming in? Look, we're a lowly brothers. We're a lowly brothers. We're small among the Akim. We're like a pinky amongst the Akim. You ain't even gonna bat us an eye. No, because we don't have that high amount of subscribers. We're not that known amongst you and stuff like that. We're not highly spoken of, but we're still part of this ministry. We're still part of the body of Yahweh Shai. You know, and the entire body is screaming at you. You know?
It says, come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I'll give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek.
Learn of him. Continue.
It says, for I am meek and lowly in heart.
He's meek and lowly in heart. What you wear is where your mind is. Not what God you serve. What you wear is what your mind is. That's what it is. What you wear is where your mind is.
You know, it shows how they, you know, and that's like the IUIC, whatever they are now. It shows the biggest hypocrisy in them, because they went to churches
that's what they call them, hypocrites.
Right. And it went to these Sunday church, you know, and trying to tell them to come out, and trying to tell them that
you know, what the scriptures say. They're trying to get them to come out and have them change.
You're not even supposed to do that.
You're not even supposed to do
He
that.
said, let the dead bury the dead.
It just shows that it's still Satan. You know, it's still Satan trying to cast out Satan, pretty much. It's the same thing. You know,
That
mindset.
type of thing can cause accusations towards the brethren, towards ones who have not even done that, because you have a different doctrine. You have a different doctrine than us. All right, you have a doctrine that is not sound. That's why when you come out with orders, it doesn't make sense. All right. So continue with that.
It says, "Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lonely in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls."
You shall find rest unto your souls. So once again, what you wear is where your mind is. Just like you are what you eat. You know, it's the same thing. And just like what Yahushua say, he says, what was it? Where your treasure is, there shall your mind be also. Or there's where your heart will be also. The same thing. Or if your body be the light of the body is the eye, and if the light of your body be single, then shall your whole body be full of light. It's the same thing. It's your mind.
It says, this is "For my yoke is easy and my burden is light."
For my yoke is easy, my burden is light. How hard is it? How hard is it for you to put on sackcloth? To understand that Yahushua came in a lowly and meek mindset. How hard is it? You men are trying to boast yourselves.
And they doing too much too.
You're trying to make merchandise of men.
You know, they also doing too much. You know, when they stand in front of a Sunday church or whatever, the Christian church, and trying to make them change. That's not your job. That's 𝙍𝙚𝙖𝙨 job. You had a job to do. He gave you a job to do. He told you to get in the highways and byways. You know, and push this truth.
Yeah,
that's right. You're doing too much.
This goes with it. Listen to this. All right. It says, but we see Yahushua, who was made a little lower than the angels, for the suffering of death, crowned with glory and honor, that he by the grace of Yahweh should taste death for every man. For it became him, for whom are all things, and by whom are all things, in bringing many sons unto glory, to make the captain of their salvation perfect through sufferings. For both he that sanctifieth and they that are sanctified, they who are sanctified, are all of one. But for which, cause he is not ashamed to call brethren, saying, I will declare thy name unto my brethren, and in the midst of the church I will sing praise unto thee. And again, I will put my trust in him. And again, behold, I and the children which Yahweh hath given me. Damn. For as much then as the children are partakers of the flesh and blood, he himself likewise took part the same. Damn, bro. You gotta have the same mindset of Yahushua. You gotta be lowly and meek in heart. You know, not boasting yourself in self-righteousness. Not boasting yourself in the things you wear. Trying to say that the things you wear is where God you serve. Alright? You should be wearing sackcloth. Why? Because that's what Yahushua was wearing. Because Yahushua understood that was not the kingdom. That in this is not our rest. It is still not our rest. Until Yahushua returns. When he comes back, and then you can see him boasting in his garment. You know, coming in glory. Power. You know, from on high. And he sees you boasting in your garment right now. He's gonna look at you like it's like a jewel beetle. It's still an insect. Doesn't matter how it looks. It looks pretty and all, but it's still a beetle at the end of the day. You know? There's nothing jewelly about it. Nothing precious about it. It can never be like unto a jewel. It is still going to be an insect at the end of the day. Alright? So continuing, it says, for as much sin as the children are partakers of the flesh and blood, he also himself likewise took part of the same, that through death he might destroy him that had the power of death, that is the devil. And who's the devil? Esau. It says, through envy of the devil came death into the world. And devil is a title referring to deceiver. Alright, and referring to Job 9:24, it says the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the face of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? And that evil is still on the earth. Until 𝙎𝙬𝙧𝙫 returns, then shall the dispensation of the times be fulfilled. Dispensation means to the management. In pursuant to 𝙍𝙬𝙧𝙫𝙖, it says he shall set it over one that is more profitable. Roughly paraphrasing. And Esau is a so-called white man. Like it or not. Yep. Like it or not. 𝙍𝙬𝙧𝙫𝙖 family says what rules this kingdom. You can see in the top was it the dollars. You know, it's the top currency. Though it's failing, they're the ones who's making it fail. So they can bring in that NWO, which is they're gonna bring in the CBDC, central bank digital currency. And this is it's a whole big picture. Alright? So continuing with this. And you can see the men, the men that are still boasting on the garments that they wear, they still got the envy of the devil in them. Because Esau boasts in his garment. Esau goes around with a suit and tie, going like, you know? Esau goes around doing that shit.
It's the same devil that believes in guns.
Yeah.
You know, believe in his own sword, anyways, because that's his blessing anyway. But no, Jake wants to follow suit.
He believes that he's proud of things that he put in his hand. It's the same mindset of these men. But we are confident and hopeful of the things that we cannot see. You know? We're confident and hopeful in the things we cannot see. We got treasures. We're rich. We are rich. But just because we don't look like we're rich doesn't mean we're not rich. Yo, you can see that also in
the riches is not of this world.
You can if you watch Game of Thrones, there was an episode when Arya Stark, she wanted to ship to Westeros, right? And she was going to go over and buy a sailman, or you know, so he can travel over to Westeros. And she told him, "I need a ship to Westeros." And the captain looked at her. He's like, "You don't got enough money." And she throws a bag of money on the table, because she was wearing sackcloth. She was wearing a peasant clothing. He's saying, "You don't got enough money." Instantly from a look, you know. And he was like looking, and he was like, "All right, you get a place at the bottom of the deck." And she throws another bag of coins. He's like, and then she went like I need a personal cabin. He's like, that's it, you know.
I got a precept. This is Ephesians chapter 4 verse.
Slightly before you continue, can you get
I haven't finished the precept.
I know, just get this. This is in Ecclesiastes.
It's in the pocket.
Yeah, it's in the park. Let's see if I can find it. With Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 1, and read down to read down to 6. Yeah, read down to 6. Actually, read that first.
This is Ephesians chapter 4 verse 1. I therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation.
Oh, if he's a prisoner of the Lord, that's already a mindset. You know, that's how you know he's already established himself as a mindset. If you're in prison, you're given clothing. You're given a orange jumpsuit.
Pretty much rags. Pretty much it's also sackcloth. Pretty much.
You're given clothing. You know, when you go to prison, you're not allowed to wear the clothing that you're wearing. All right, continue.
It says, I therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called.
Yeah, and being worthy is arming yourself likewise with the same mindset, because to even be worthy, you have to be compared onto something, and you're being compared onto 𝙎𝙚𝙧𝙫. 𝙎𝙚𝙧 was the forerunner. All right, the forerunner means that he went in and completed it before us, and he did it for the purpose of us, for him paving the way for us to walk that same path. You know?
There's only one path.
Yeah, there's only one path, and that's the way that 𝙎𝙚𝙧 established.
This is that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called, with all lowliness and meekness.
And all lowliness and meekness. That is the key thing, man. It is key. Because if you don't have lowliness and meekness, your eyes are not, the eyes of Yahweh is not upon you. You know? You can see these men out here, these so-called pastors, you know, and priests. They don't walk with lowliness and meekness. They wear a suit and tie on the top of a stadium. And they claim that they're preaching, not understanding what the word preach means. It means to be a public, to be open, to make public, to make news. And you can't do that inside of a building, speaking only to your congregation. You have to go out. You gotta shout. You gotta shout aloud. Lift up your voice as a trumpet. You know, a lot of men, they cheat with the
prophesying to the wind.
Yeah, a lot of men, they cheat with the monophone. And that right there is already showing laziness. Like, is it so hard for you to lift up your voice and yell? You know, that's also a mindset. If you're taking a monophone outside, that's also a mindset. Because you're taking the comfortability of a monophone. There's nothing wrong with it, but don't put your mind on it. Don't depend too much on it. So if you so happen to forget your monophone at home, don't go like, oh, I need my monophone. You don't need it. You want it for you to have an easier task. Nah, man. You know, we already got the internet. You know, we don't have to. You know, we can even talk low for the brothers that are watching, and you can hear us. For the people out here, the people across the road that most likely can't even hear us, we're gonna talk to you with an indoor voice.
It's just passerbys. That's it.
Yeah.
And any passerbys that either they're here or they're for reference.
That was interesting. Oh, yeah, son, you didn't expect that.
It says, with all loneliness and meekness and long suffering, forbearing one another in love.
Oh, slow down. Repeat it again.
It says, with all loneliness and meekness, with long suffering and forbearing one another in love.
Forbearing one another in love. Bible Shark, can you get the word forbearing? Intimate. An agent? Not. Oh, an agent? I don't know. He took off his hat and everything. You never know. You never actually know. That was really weird.
Is it?
Yeah, he's the one longest I've actually ever seen stand there, listen, not asking anything, not up yet at least, you know, and you know, he had his hat off and everything, and you know, when he was leaving, he just went like, "Shalom," and just left.
Yeah, that's like a once in a while.
And you know, I just automatically went like that.
He wasn't dressed in a very, like you say.
He wasn't. Yeah, he didn't. He looked
like flashy or nothing like that.
He looked very rugged on his face and everything.
Rough.
Kind of looked like an Ephraimite.
Right.
Yeah. Or maybe Manasseh. But please, continue.
This is the enemy of forbearing, is to hold oneself erect and firm.
To hold one direct and firm, and that goes hand in hand with the, if a brother is lower in the truth than you, a newcomer or anything like that, treat him as you would any other brother. Answer any questions he got, anything like that. Be soft towards the brother. Be kind. Be tender-hearted. Yahushua did it for us, man. Our teachers, our apostles, elders did it for us. You know, even when we're rebuked, you know, though the brothers, they look like they're harsh, they seem like they're harsh, yet they're trying to direct you. Like, whoa, 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 watch it. You're about to fall. Bro, watch it. All right? Watch it. Whoo!
Well,
You almost fell, bro.
They can say it with a certain expression. It may sound mean, but you know how many times, like, don't cross the street, you gonna fucking get hit.
Don't be
You know,
stupid.
me,
Like, don't be stupid. Don't take another step. Don't be a dumbass to take another step. You know, using high hyperboles. That's what that word is. Look up the hyperbole. All right. And that's what these curse words. The reason they call it curse words because they don't. When they're teaching their children about Christianity and stuff like that, about the scriptures, it says not to curse, and not to make vows, you know, and that's why they call it curse words and swear words, you know. So they call the strong language curse words and swear words to scare the children away from using those words, all right. But those words are nothing but just strong language. They're just called hyperboles. Hyperboles is using words to describe let's just say an expression. All right, when you're like holy shit, you go like whoa type of thing, you know.
It's like how you say that? To explain it more like a 4-year-old, 5-year-old word enhancement.
Word enhancements. You know, you can see that in SpongeBob. You know, when SpongeBob was going around speaking dolphin, you know, Mr. Krabs was like telling him to stop. But when near the end, at the end of the episode, Mr. Krabs hit his foot and he was jumping up and down speaking dolphin. Because it hurt so much, he was trying to express how much it hurt through his words. You know? You can see that shit. Even children understand that shit. You know? Excuse my language. Look at that. I'm already saying shit. That was not necessary. That just came out. It means, you know what I mean. Yeah. Lord, I said it again. Fucking it. Oh my gosh. I understand, Mr. Krabs. Anyway, continue.
It says to hold one's self erect and firm, just to sustain, to bear, and to endure.
Yeah, to endure. Damn. You know, even with a younger brother, you know, he may not understand a certain thing that you understand. You gotta endure and just teach him. You know, things like that. Yo, shalom to all you Akim on the cover board. Y'all bashim Yashem for Katab. Shalom.
It says, with all loneliness and meekness and with long suffering, forbearing one another in love, enduring to keep the unity of spirit in the bond of peace.
Yeah, and that goes through the way of rebuking. We just told you, you know, those sometimes the brothers seem harsh. That's not what they're trying to come across as. They're trying to make sure you don't fall and stumble, fall out of the chute, become a bug out. You see how bad these bug outs are right here. All right, you see how bad they are, like to the point that you can't even conversate with them. All right, it's either they're hostile or they just want to do something for no apparent reason.
Don't get mad if you get rebuked. You just get called a name. You know, like don't be a fucking moron or something like that. You know, come on. You know that.
Don't be an idiot. Don't be an idiot.
You know, at least, you can go along with it. Say, all right, I'm just stupid. All right, I'll stop. You know, it's a lot. You know.
It says, there is one body and one spirit, even as ye are called in one hope of your calling. It says, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one Yahweh.
Yes. So
one
what Lord are you serving? What power are you serving? You know, you men that are once again putting their mind upon their garments, putting their mind upon anything like that. I'm gonna repeat it again. It's not the way you dress is what God you serve. No. The way you dress is what your heart is in. Is what mindset you are in. Alright?
It says one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one Yahweh,
one power.
One power, and Father of all, who is above all, and through all, and in you all.
Yeah, that's it, bro. That's it, yeah. Yeah, you repeat that?
All right. Eclesiasticus 11:1. Wisdom lifted up the head of him that is of low degree, and maketh him to sit among great men. Commend not a man for his beauty, neither abhor a man for his outward appearance.
Yeah, and you know, you got once again, you got a lot of men like that. You know, they refuse to conversate or be next to a man that is wearing clothing that is deemed lower. See, if you're a rich guy, if you're a millionaire, you come out here with regular old clothing, people aren't even going to suspect you of being a millionaire. Why? Because people look on the outward appearance. But if you come out here with a suit and tie and a flashy ass car, people are going to be swarming.
It's calling attention pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, and you just open. You're open for hunting season pretty much.
The men nowadays, they desire attention. That's lovers of their own selves. And that's why we don't put our minds upon the garments. Yeah, you might see brothers with fancy looking garments, like some brothers with like space. It's cool, like whoa. You know, some brothers with a garment on, then they got a girdle as well with a giant lion on it. There's nothing wrong with it, brother. The brother isn't going around boasting it. You know. But then you got some congregations that go around. They got the phylacteries, they got the gauntlets, you know, they got the big girdles, you know, they got large ass borders in the garments, the fringes all the way down, you know, and standing on the podium, having a microphone and everything like that. It's like you're trying to draw attention. Like, what is this? Bro, I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting attention from the people, but it's the way you're trying to get attention with. You're trying to get attention. No, it's bad.
Yeah, I wear shoes with holes. You know,
we don't got the money to always buy shoes.
We can't buy shit all the time, but yo, we got what? We got two-third Jake out there trying to buy $600 Nikes, whatever brand, you know. And they can't even pay their next bill. They have to choose between electric and
limited time.
And limited time Jordans that just came out. You know that if they don't buy it within a week, they're gonna lose the opportunity. So they decided, you know what? Let me go ahead and just I can wait another month without paying the bill. Now it's been 2 months I haven't paid the bill because they're trying to get them sneakers. You know. That's the mentality of Jake, you know. And at the same token, now let's say they got them sneakers. Now they act like this
shit don't stink.
This shit don't stink. They act like they're rich. They act like they're up and high and mighty because I got this. I got flashy this. I got flashy that.
He's trying to get the women's attention. Trying to get the women's attention, like so the women can see him like he's well off. Oh, he's got a lot of money, he can provide for me, type of thing.
Ecclesiasticus 11:2. Commend not a man for his beauty, neither abhor a man for his outward appearance. The bee is little among such as fly, but her fruit if chief of sweet things. Boast not of thy clothing and raiment, and exalt not thyself in the day of honor. For the works of the Lord.
Exalt not thyself in the day of honor. That's why, just look at 𝙎𝙚𝙧𝙫, man. Look at 𝙎𝙚𝙧𝙫. Yeah, that's what's up, bro. Look at the fuck, you know? And look at 𝙎𝙚𝙧𝙫. 𝙎𝙚𝙧 was not boasting himself. When he was on the scene, he was not boasting himself.
He always gave glory to the Father.
And anytime that people try to glorify 𝙎𝙚𝙧, he said there's none good but the Father, but Yahweh. He always gave credit to the Father, not to himself. He always said it.
Even David.
Yeah, even David, yeah.
Even David, when he was going to fight Goliath and who knows other things that happened to David, he always gave glory to the Father. You have to give glory to the Father regardless. 𝙎𝙚𝙧 is our Lord He's our king. And what we glorify 𝙍𝙚𝙖𝙨 glorifies the Father. It's the order of things.
Yeah, so if we glorify 𝙍𝙚 glorifies the Father, you know, and we glorify, it's just a cycle.
And what's
it's
the
a
Father?
cycle. And Yahweh is glorified with the Son, and he's glorified with the men, because they're going for his Son,
right.
which he said.
And what the Father do from there? He rewards you. He rewards you. That's how it works. That's how it works.
Yeah, you can continue. Yeah, you can continue.
Say it again. 𝙍𝙚𝙖𝙨 11:4. Boast not of thy clothing and raiment, and exalt not thyself in the day of honor.
So when Yahweh Shah comes back, that's the day of honor. The dispensation of the times is day of honor. Day of honor if you're right in the eyes of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah. All right, honor means equal. If you're right and if you've done right in the eyes of Yahweh, if you've done honorable, you know, you don't want to boast yourself. You should be like this is basically. I just exaggerated. This is my offering. So you're like, you have your head down. You know.
And to be on the safe side, if you want to be more on the safe side, somebody give you credit, you have to have a humble spirit. You gotta like, oh man, you're a good speaker. You know, 'cause I'm not a good speaker. You know, you're a good speaker, man. Do this and this. No,
Yeah, or an artist. An artist.
I'm not all that. I'm trying here. You know.
Even an artist.
You know?
Even when
Right.
the artist is in a competition with other artists, and a lot of people are liking his art. Damn, look at that. Woo! You are a good artist, and even still, the artist is going like, it's not that good. Is it really?
Taking it too
Really?
It's too much.
Nah.
Does he like it?
You know? It's like even the artist, no matter how hard the artist tries in his artwork and somebody likes it, the artist is always going to disapprove it. He's going to like, that's my art. Look what I did. That is the greatest art ever. Like, everybody's going to go like, they're going to look at the artist. Now they're not going to like the art because the artist is being like that. It's like,
Who did this? That's me. I did that.
I did that.
You know how many people got in trouble just by saying that? Is who did this? Who did this art? Well, for example, you know, who did this? Who did this work here? I did this. Why you did it right there for us? Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, that happened with SpongeBob. In SpongeBob was really good at sculpting, right? And Squidward was trying to teach SpongeBob how to sculpt. And SpongeBob was like a prodigy at sculpting. Like, and then when an artist guy, a sculptor came, professional, and he saw the work. He's like, it's beautiful. And he started crying and everything, right? And Squidward was like, I did this, right? And the guy was promoting Squidward, right? And then the next time, SpongeBob did it again, and this guy saw it, and I forgot exactly how it went, but
He kept messing it up.
Huh?
Squidward broke the head, and he wanted, what's his face, to make another head. Right? I mean, no, another statue, but he kept messing it up.
Yeah, I mean, I can barely remember, but
So
he kept messing it up.
Like he messing up the statue. Like it kept crumbling to dust. Basically, you couldn't make it again.
Wait, it was something like that, but I remember him like taking SpongeBob's credit.
Oh yeah.
And then he got in trouble. Like he basically got the dude started yelling at because he said, "Who did this?" And then Squidward said it was me, and then he started yelling at Squidward and shit like that.
And
it was something like that.
Okay, 𝙍𝙚𝙖𝙨 11:4. Again, boast not of thy clothing and raiment, and exalt not thyself in the day of honor. For
Now
the
listen to this. Listen to this, all you men that have the same mindset as the leader of IOIC. All right.
For that works of the Lord are wonderful, and His works among men are hidden.
The works among men are hidden. All right. So he isn't going to be boasting himself. If a man of the Lord He won't be boasting himself at all. Look at Yahushua. Yahushua was hidden amongst all these people. The light of the people couldn't even see him as a Lord. Like, nah. Son of the Most High. No, he's not.
Yeah,
So why didn't he come like this? Why didn't he go like this? Yo, let me get that in Isaiah.
Look at the way he looks.
You know?
You think he's being man of the Lord? Look at the way he's dressed.
I'm going to read a little bit of Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 53 verse 1. It says, who have believed our report? And to whom is the arm of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua revealed? For he shall grow up before him as a tender plant, and as a root out of a dry ground. He hath no form, no comeliness.
Maybe like in their 40s, late
And when
40s.
we shall see him, there is no beauty where we shall desire him. Just because he didn't have that beauty, people didn't believe that he was the Son of the Most High. Little do they know is that they don't go to the wise words of our forefathers. You know, for example, Sirach. You know, literally says that the works of the Most High are hidden among men. So only the ones. That's why it says, when the disciples were trying to find out who Yahushua was in his past life, Yahushua asked Paul. No, it was Peter. He asked Peter. Was it Peter Bar-Jonah? Peter Bar-Jonah. Who does thou think that I was? You know, and Peter said, I believe that thou art the son of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. And he said, blessed art thee, Peter Bar-Jonah, for what was it? Flesh and blood have not revealed this unto you, but my Father revealed this unto you. You need Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua to reveal secrets like that unto your eyes. That's why we see our apostles and elders, the apostles of Great Millstone, is our teachers. And they are the men sent by Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua. None of these others. You know, you know what's funny? All these other leaders of these other doctrines, they don't call themselves apostles. They call themselves either bishops or high priests. Well, why not apostles? Apostles is actually a low title. It's a lower title than a high priest and a bishop. A high priest and a bishop, if they're going around boasting themselves about that, that's pride. Because you can look at the Levites. Look at the Levites. If I remember correctly, John the Baptist, he was a Levite. He was a priest, but he didn't go about boasting himself that he's the son of Aaron. Right? He's from the sons of Aaron. You know, he didn't go about boasting himself. That's one of the reasons why John the Baptist said, the one that has come is greater than I. Why? Because of Yahushua, he came about greater than John the Baptist, but he was the son of the Heavenly Father. That is huge. That is bigger than any priest, any other title. That is big. But when Yahushua came about, he came in the same style that John the Baptist came. That's why John the Baptist, he paved the road for Yahushua.
He's the cousin of Yahushua.
Yeah, and John the Baptist, he paved the road for Yahushua. Yahushua walked that way so that we may walk that way. And John the Baptist also. You know? It's like rolling out the red carpet. You ain't gonna step foot on the carpet. That's for that celebrity. You would better not step foot on that carpet. You know? Yeah, John the Baptist. You know? Yahushua walked about. Then all the men on down start walking down that carpet behind Yahushua. You know? It's the same thing, man. Yahushua did not come about to boast himself. He didn't boast himself in raiment, and he was honorable unto death. All the way honorable unto death.
He took a brutal death.
And now when he's coming back, he's coming with honor and great glory. You know, a power of great glory. And he is to be respected. When he comes back, then he's going to be wearing his garment of his choosing. And how he wants it. With actual gold on it. I'm not kidding. Actual gold, actual jewels, and everything's going to be upon his garment. Alright? And the men right now, they're boasting themselves like I can't even come up with a good comparison. You know what I mean? Look at a butterfly. Butterfly is beautiful. When you look up close, that thing's creepy as hell. You know? Oh, look at a ladybug. You know? Ladybug. Oh, look pretty. Look up close to it. It's freaking freaky as hell.
Well,
You know, it's the same thing as we're dirty rags. But no matter how much we try to make ourselves look clean by putting another rag on top of us, we're still dirty rags at the end of the day.
𝙍𝙬𝙖𝙨, he was not at that time. He was not pleasant to look at. But what made him beautiful? The wisdom that he had.
Yeah, he was just Isaiah 52 and 2. It says, oh no, not 2, 3. It says he is despised and rejected of men, and man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. He hid, as it were of the faces from him. He hid as if it were our faces from him. He was despised, and we esteemed him not. Surely he had borne our griefs and carried our sorrows. Yea, we did esteem him stricken and smitten of Yahweh and afflicted. Bro, our people are fucking stupid. Alright? Our people are dumb. You know? There's even some of the 144,000 and 1/3 that was amongst that crowd that crucified Yahushua. Little did they know is that after he was crucified and everything like that, they learned from the apostles and elders during that time. You know? And they woke up, they'll probably grieve, they probably wept and grieve like, what have I done? And they're gonna go after with meekness and lowliness, like I was with one of them that crucified. And now they're going after offering up their bodies and living sacrifice during that time, just for them to do it again nowadays. You know, that's why it says, seek ye the I forgot how it goes. It says, seek ye the Lord 10 times more, and that's how the men were. They're like, damn, they did that. They were part of that. Like, damn. They're like, there is nothing. There is absolutely nothing I can do to revert time and repay that. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna offer my life. That is the greatest thing a man could offer. Is his life. Yeah, as a sacrifice. And that's powerful to 𝙍𝙬𝙖𝙨. And that's reasonable. Because that's the greatest a man can do, to offer up. It's his own life.
It's like to be born again.
Yeah. So yeah, you can continue on that.
Ecclesiastes 11:5. Many kings have sat down upon the ground, and one that was never thought of had worn the crown.
There you go. And that applies to all of us. Look at all these congregations hating on us because we rebuke them. Because we're telling them the way that they're doing is wrong. Like, stop. Bro, stop. You know? We're telling them that the things that they're doing is wrong. So they throw insults and everything at us. You know, calling us bum Israelites. Calling us insults left and right. Little do they know is that just as the scriptures say, the works of 𝙍𝙬𝙖𝙨 is hidden among men. And that those men that they're insulting are going to be the future kings. You know? You know what it reminds me of? The 𝙍𝙬, again. The assistant, the advisor to the mayor. You know, if you watch 𝙍𝙬, was it? How many parts were 𝙍𝙬? It's like 2 parts. It's like near the end of 𝙍𝙬 part 1 and the beginning of 𝙍𝙬 part 2. So you got the advisor. He was insulting the dwarfs and one of the inhabitants there that were wiser than the rest. You know, that smoke, which is the dragon, was going to unleash, according to prophecy, was going to unleash fire upon that town. According to prophecy, and the dude was prophesying to them. But the mayor of that town, you know, he was insulting, throwing insults, trying to convince the people that this guy's a psychopath, he's an idiot. But when smoke came about, you know, oh, and I forgot to mention, but that there was also mentioned that a hero was going to stop the smoke. little did they know that the hero was actually the prophet, was actually that dude. So when smoke came about, you know, that hero, which is that dude, that prophet, he stopped smoke, but he still burned up the entire town because it was prophecy. All right. So when all the citizens and everything, most of the citizens and everything were evacuated, you know, onto the beach, so did the prophet also survive. But not just the prophet, but also that wicked man, which is that assistant. So he was coming up, and then you know, since the mayor pretty much died, they needed a new mayor, and they were gonna make the prophet the mayor because they saw that his words were true. You know, and when that assistant showed up, and he was trying to what's the word? He was trying to bring that prophet to a great name by doing the same thing he did to the previous mayor. He was trying to see, he saw an opportunity. He was like, there's just a new mayor and stuff like that. And the dude went like, what are you doing? Like, and all of that. And he's like, and he told the people to do what they want to him. He threw him to the people, you know? So basically, you know, back to the point is that nobody saw that dude was going to, that was prophesying, was telling the truth. But at the end, then these people, which are throwing insults at the dude which was telling the truth, now all of a sudden they're trying to take the opportunity to try to seek mercy when it's already too late. You're chosen your path.
They take it out of the scripture. You know, the prophet was among them. You know, they know that the prophet been among them.
Yeah, lo, it will come. I say yeah.
This is Matthew 7, verse 13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat.
Yeah, and you can see all apostles and elders. Not a lot of people will be following our apostles and elders. Why? Because of the way they dress. You know, you see the apostles and elders, you know, they just look like old men. You know, wearing garments. Sometimes they wear a coat. Can't even see the garments. And at the end of the day, they're not even boasting themselves. They still look like your average Joe out here.
That's right. It's still prophecy. That's why it explains 144,000 of the elect in the 1/3. You know, it shows that, and it's not because 144,000 of the elect in the 1/3 because they survived the fire. Yeah, that's part of the reason. For a lot of the reasons, because the 2/3 refused to listen to the message from 144,000 of the elect. You know, in that 1/3 that knew, and they're trying to
just
push
like
that.
What Yahweh said. He said, "I pray not just for unto them, the men that you gave me, but unto the ones that hear and believe on their words."
Right.
So Yahweh did not just pray unto the 144,000. He prayed also unto the 1/3 that hear and believe their words. Everyone else that don't believe their words, they're of the world. They're of the world. So you other Israelite doctrines that are not teaching the true correct way of Yahweh, you are of the world. You are not of Yahweh. The clothing that you wear, the God you serve is Mammon, which is money. You serve money. And why do we say that? It's because that's your Lord. Because Yahweh, you aren't representing any power with the clothing you wear. You don't represent any power. Why? Because the works of Yahweh are hidden among men. The works and one of his works, ultimate works are the prophets. You can see the prophets. You got was it Elijah? Who was the one that was prophesying naked? Ezekiel shaved off his hairs, you know, and was it damn, I'm getting mixed up with certain things. Damn. If I remember correctly, Ezekiel shaved off his hairs. Hosea, I think. Was it? I'm not entirely sure. One of them two. Married a whore. And there was many things. But when people saw them, when people saw those prophets, what is this? Oh, that's it. okay, it was Isaiah. But all those prophets were all seen as crazy. You know, but little did they know is that they're all representing the things that were coming. Just as us, now, look at us. We're wearing sackcloth. Why? Because of the days that are coming are going to be extremely terrible. Lamentations, mourning, and woe. So what we are ordered to do is wear sackcloth. Alright? That's what our mindset is. And we are ordered through the 𝙎𝙚𝙧𝙫𝙼. And why do I say that? It's because you have to understand 𝙎𝙚𝙧 to understand to ultimately have the 𝙎𝙚𝙧. To have the 𝙎𝙚𝙧, you need to understand 𝙎𝙚𝙧. To understand 𝙎𝙚𝙧, you need the 𝙎𝙚𝙧. You know?
Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it.
Few there be that find it, man. Yeah, and the apostles, the elders, though they sit among great men, they're still lowly. They're still small. You know? We don't got mansions. We don't have fancy ass cars. We live to a day-by-day basis. You know? Getting our daily bread. You know? We don't know if we're gonna even eat tomorrow, but tomorrow, the next day, we do eat. Everything's based on faith.
Literally, day by day basis.
Yeah, literally by day, daily bread. Give us things that are what is it? I forgot the word. That was it?
No, that's it.
Alright, continue.
Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravaging wolves.
Not wise.
Ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit.
Yeah, and that's the leader of his congregation. Now, what do you think about all the rest of his congregation? What are they going to be like? Same thing.
A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit.
Yeah, you can see the apostles and elders, man. Look at the apostles and elders. Everything that they teach has brought in good fruit. Little do you know is that even the titles which through the Spirit has been put on apostles' heart to apply in the years, actually has been fitting with the things that have been happening in the news.
Every tree that bringeth forth not good, every tree that bringeth forth not good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire.
Yeah, and that comes when the dispensation comes, when the management comes. You know, because they have to grow together. They have to grow together. Continue.
Wherefore, by their fruits ye shall know them.
Wherefore, that by thy fruits ye shall know them. You can see the brothers. Man, look at the brothers, man. And every time I listen to the brothers' videos, I'm like, these are the men. These are the men, man. Like, absolutely. The way they teach, you know, it's just absolutely edifying and exhorting. These men speak with wisdom. All right? These men speak with absolute wisdom.
The world hate this truth. You know, if the world hate us because we pushing the words of 𝙎𝙚𝙧𝙫𝙼, we're doing something right.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like that.
Does it? Yeah, is it? Right?
I think the next part's good.
That was that?
I think the next part was good.
I have no idea what you're saying.
He said the next part was good.
It's good?
Yes, it's too much reflection. It's too long.
Let me just read it.
You said it's good?
Yeah.
Alright,
This is Matthew 7, verse 21. Not every one that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father which is in heaven.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah, you know, and Yahushua, he represented all of that. You know, just how we represent Yahushua represented how the Father wanted.
That's pretty much a complete cut, because what is the will of Jehovah Shai? The scriptures. What do the scriptures contain? Instructions. What is the instruction? Nate's supposed to know all that shit, but he knows.
What is it? Love the Lord, keep His commandments.
But he's choosing between money and the Lord. And you know what? He's leaning toward the money. He took the bag.
If you didn't take the bag, you should fix your ways. But if you're not gonna fix your ways, it's already been known unto us.
He took the bag. You know, and I know that because I already found out.
Yeah, I know.
You know, yeah, just put it on video. So I'll probably have to re-upload that again.
I'm gonna read a little bit of this, and then we're just gonna close out. This is 1 Corinthians. Oh, who got the 1 Corinthians?
I got Ephesians. Wait, I got 1 Corinthians. Stop. The 1 Corinthians chapter 27. Want to read it?
Yeah.
It's 1 Corinthians, because I don't really know if you're going to read it. But it's 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 27. It says, but Yahweh hath chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. And Yahweh hath chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. It says, and base things of the world and the things which are despised hath Yahweh chosen, yea, and things which are not, to bring not things that are.
I don't even know what they're calling. You know, because I know the Alright, Slacky, repeat that again.
It's 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 27. But Yahweh hath, verse 28, is base things of the world and things which are despised hath Yahweh chosen. Yea, and base things of the world and things which are despised hath Yahweh chosen. Yea,
wait, it says the things which are despised has Yahweh chosen. And amongst all the congregations, amongst all the doctrines, great most is the most despised. And all of them that teach the same doctrine. That includes men of valor. That includes us. You know, that includes any other brother that doesn't have the great millstone or men of valor name on it. That but teaches the same doctrine. We're all despised. When you come across a bug out that just so happens to know that he's an Israelite and everything like that, he's formerly some other members of some other congregation. When they hear a great Muslim, they're like, oh, I knew it was one of you guys. Like, what the fuck does that mean?
Or they just get mad, or they just call us names.
They insult our elders.
Yeah, they always go for our elders, or apostles and elders. Like, why? Why?
It says, and base things of the world, and base things of the world and things which are despised hath Yahweh chosen. Yea, things which are not, to bring not things that are.
Yeah.
Since that no flesh shall glory in his presence.
That no flesh shall glory in his presence. You know, even when Yahushua comes back, we aren't going to be glorifying ourselves. We're going to be glorifying Yahushua, because he's coming back in the power of the heavens, in the power of his Father Yahweh. So we're going to be saying, "Call all you like Yahweh Yahushua, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahushua." We're all going to be glorifying ourselves. You know, we're going to be like, "I'm ready. Take me up."
We're going to be glorifying the Father and the Son.
Yeah.
You know?
Everything else falls in place. We're nothing, man. We're nothing. We're nothing but mere tools. It's whether you're willing or whether you're willing or whether you're not.
Just a mouthpiece.
We're a mouthpiece, man. Yeah. It's not of our will. So we aren't going to glorify ourselves. We're going to be glorifying Yahweh 𝙎𝙬𝙧𝙫𝙬 𝙎𝙬𝙧𝙬𝙬. You know? And that's, you know, a perfect representation is when these angels show up. You know? When the angels show up, you know, the first instinct the brothers got is 𝙎𝙬𝙧𝙬𝙬 𝙎𝙬𝙧𝙬𝙬. 𝙎𝙬𝙧 means all praises. All praises. And then La means two. So 𝙎𝙬𝙧 𝙎𝙬𝙧. You know, that's the first instincts the brothers get when they see chariots. You know? The Wadi 𝙎𝙬𝙧 for giving us this truth, for us to even see these types of things. You can finish it up.
It's that no flesh shall glory in his presence, but of him are ye in Mashiach Yahushua. Says, who of Yahweh is made unto us wisdom and righteousness and sanctification and repentance and redemption. Says that according as it is written, says he that glorifieth, let him glory in the Lord.
There you go. He that glorifieth, let him glory in the Lord. Let him glory in Yahushua. That is our mindset. You know, we aren't going to be glorifying ourselves by the way of making ourselves looking, you know, fancy as hell. Alright? That's a manner of glorifying. That's why when you glorify someone, you give them treasures, you give them precious things, you know, give them sacrifices. That's a manner of glorifying. Get them tight. You know? But you know, that's why we rather glory in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Alright? So yeah, so we're gonna close up.
No, I haven't finished this precept.
Oh yeah.
Just put it on because it's let me finish Joel 2. This is Joel chapter 2 verse 13. And rend your heart and not your garment, and turn unto Yahweh your power, Bahashan Yahushua, for he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and repented him of the evil.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And this is for Nate. This is for Nate.
Not just Nate, but all of the men, all his entire congregation.
Right. Matthew 23 and 27, from the words from Yahweh Shai. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, for ye are like unto white sepulchres, which indeed appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead men's bones and of all uncleanness.
Yeah, full of undead, fucking dead man's bones.
There's another scripture, I think it was either NLT or CSB. It describes it differently, but it still falls the same thing. It's pretty much talking about mausoleum or like a cemetery, pretty much.
Yeah, mausoleum.
Because a mausoleum looks nice, but inside it's full of dead man's bone.
Oh, yeah,
You can say, even so ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men, but within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity.
Yeah.
Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites, because ye built the tombs of the prophets and garnished the sepulchres of the righteous. Even they rob they rob even from the dead. You know, just to make money. You know, that's.
Yeah, I mean, even literally, you know, literally even now.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You know, and say, if we had been in the days of our fathers, we would not have been partakers with them in the blood of the prophets.
Look, I'm pretty sure all of them would say the same thing. But you have the same mindset as the evil Sadducees and Pharisees, man. Or Pharisees and Sadducees. know? They're the same mindset. You guys will be best friends.
It's more. Wherefore you be witness unto yourselves that ye are the children of them which killed the prophets.
Bruh. Oh, continue a little more.
Fill ye up then the measure of your fathers, ye serpents, ye generations of vipers. How can ye escape the damnation of hell? Wherefore, behold, I send unto you prophets and wise men and scribes, and some of them ye shall kill and crucify, and some of them you shall scourge in your synagogues and persecute them from city to city.
Yeah, like that hatred, you know? That hatred, that absolute hatred. Like, what is with this? You know? What is with this? Go ahead, call us bum Israelites. Go ahead. Call us faith-based Israelites. Go ahead. Throw all your insults in the book. Go ahead. But when Yahushua comes back, we're going to glorify in Yahushua.
You got a precept.
Go ahead. Throw all the insults you want at us. You know? Go ahead. But it ain't going to change our spirit. Once again, we're going to glorify in Yahushua. When he returns, we are not going to be ashamed. But you will. Damn, that's fat. You will.
You got a precept. You done?
I got a little bit here. I got a little bit. Alright, so let me get the point right here. This is John 4:23. But the hour cometh, and now is, when the true worshipers shall worship the Father in spirit and in truth. For the Father seeketh such to worship him. Yahweh is the spirit, and they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth.
Yep, now you can do it.
It's Galatians chapter 6, verse 7. It says, be not deceived, Yahweh is not mocked. For whosoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap.
Right. That's very on the point.
You chose your God. We chose ours. We worship Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushai, and you know not what you worship.
We worship the living power, and you worship the God of the dead, pretty much.
Yeah,
Dead God, and even what makes it worse,
an unknown God. That's it.
An unknown God. And what makes it worse, even applying still the name of that God according to this world, instead of using the actual name.
You should probably say idol, by the way, because they're not so-called gods. They have no power in them.
Which is a false God, pretty much.
Alright. So, yeah, I mean that.
It's not done. I'm not done yet.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like this is Galatians chapter 6, verse 8. It says, "For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap the life and everlasting."
Yeah, and we're reaping of the Spirit. We're not reaping of the flesh. We ain't gonna fancy our flesh up like a fucking a so-called Christmas tree. You know, we're gonna be humble and meek, as Yahushua has showed us. We're gonna walk down that same red carpet He's established. Or should I say blue carpet? Nah, let's say green carpet, like beryl green.
I got another precept for the money bug outs. This is 1 Timothy chapter 6, verse 9. Verse 9. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which draw men into destruction and perdition. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some converted after they have erred, and from the faith and pierced themselves with many sorrows.
So if you want to continue your wickedness, you know what? That's on you. That's pretty much on you. What you got?
I sure appreciate it.
What?
Go ahead.
I got a short.
This is
All right, we're
Matthew.
close up on that.
This is Matthew 19, verse 24. And again, I say unto you, it is easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven.
That's a good closing. Reset.
That's a good cut too.
Yeah.
You know.
And
You know?
an eye of a needle is referring to a narrow path, that the camel's too stubborn to go through.
So
The camel's gonna go through.
you other doctors, you want to follow your little flashy clothes and how you look in your outward appearance. You might as well put Nike on it, or put Jordans, or put Starter on it if you want. You know, that's on you. You know, you can keep this world. That's what you like. You can keep it.
Yep. Keep your garment. We'd rather keep our sackcloth. And also our spirit. Shit. So, yeah, so we're going to close up. Alright? I'm out your weapon, you have one, alright?
𝙎𝙚𝙧𝙫𝙬𝙖𝙗𝙡𝙚.
Alright? Yeah, so once again, I'll give double honors to Pastor Elders of your Muslim. That's that bugger that was insulting us.
Yeah, got him out of here real quick.
You know? And yeah, the one that this camp session was edifying unto you brothers out there and exhorting unto you brothers. You know? So, yeah. I'm gonna leave it off the Shema prayer. So, Shema Yasharallah, Yahweh Allah Hayanawa, Yahweh Khad,
Admad Admad.
Shalom, Shalom.